First at 6, it's back to school for Hartford Public Schools. In less than 2 hours, kids will be back in the classroom. But before then, everything you need to know before that first bell coming up in a live report.
A man who police say stabbed and killed a woman in Hartford yesterday is expected in court. I'm Joe Monty with the latest details coming up.
Well, if you are heading back to class this morning, the teachers, the parents, the students, we hope you have a great day and a great year. We are glad you're with us here at Fox 61 this morning. I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Glenn Kittle. Time to wake up if you're heading back to school. We're going to send things out to Rachel Piscatelli for a look at your first day of school forecast.
Now, let's go outside to the New England Patio and Hearth Outdoor Studio.
For those districts that are going back to school today, it's a nice start to our morning. You can have those first day of school pictures outside as we have mostly clear skies and very comfortable conditions out there now. A little bit of fog in spots, but it's not a huge widespread issue. Just don't want you to get caught off guard, especially for those that are starting their morning commute a bit early. Temperatures are a little bit cooler than this time yesterday. We're sitting in the 50s and lower 60s, but the bigger picture here, a nice day overall with an isolated shower or storm this afternoon. So taking a look at our current numbers, we're sitting in the upper 50s across the state to near 60 degrees along the shoreline, like around 60 degrees in New Haven, 63 in Bridgeport, 59 in Hartford, and the mid to upper 50s in northeastern Connecticut. So looking at the day planner for today, some fog. It's a comfortable start though, mostly clear skies otherwise. Temperatures this afternoon moving up into the mid to upper 70s to right around that 80-degree mark, and we will have a lot of sun mixing in with a bit of cloud coverage at times. That also brings in a chance for an isolated shower or storm towards the evening, although it won't be widespread issue. A lot of us end up being dry today. It is a beautiful day on Wednesday as well. So for those districts that are going back to school tomorrow, temperatures starting off in the upper 50s, lower 60s, another nice and clear start. Temperatures by the afternoon back up to around 80 degrees with a mostly sunny sky. We'll talk about where we go from here. We'll detail out your full week forecast plus your weekend forecast coming up in just around 15 minutes. As we check in with the roads now at about 6:02. We have only 2 areas of road work this morning, so a lot of it has wrapped up for the morning commute. So Windsor I-91 southbound, exit 35A to 291 eastbound. That ramp is going to be closed for you this morning. Also 84 eastbound out by exit 51 to 91. This is usual in the capital city. That still remains closed, or at least being reported closed at this hour. So give yourself a little extra time in the area. Otherwise, taking a live look outside over its various locations across the state, looking fairly nice and smooth as of 6:02. We'll have another update for you and look at those drive times coming up. Over to you.
Well, the wait is over and school is back in session. In just a couple of hours from now, the kids of Hartford Public Schools will embark on their first day of classes. And Fox 61's Aaron Coogan joins us live this morning from Bulkley High School. And Aaron, it's a good day to have a good day. The first day of school officially here for those students.
Yeah, a good day, especially for the kids here at Bulkley who get to return to their newly renovated campus. 7:30 is go time here, as well as for 12 other schools in the district. For the remaining 30 or so, they'll be back at 8:40. So it's a good reminder for parents, students, anyone getting on the road this morning, heading to work, that you're going to want to take a little bit of extra time in the morning, because again, we're going to have those school buses back on the road, and we're going to have the inevitable chaos of the drop-off pickup process. But again, it's going to be a really great day for those at the Hartford Public School system. We've been following all of the preparation teachers, administrators, and parents have poured in to making this year so successful for the 15,000 students across the district. Strengthening curriculum, bolstering after school and extracurricular programming. We do know enrollment is up. Last year, we saw around 1,300 local students opt to school away from their home district. This year, that number is down to about 300. And we know more than anything, the dollars being invested to support the district this year is going to make all the difference. $15 million is secured in state funding, and an additional $10 million from the city of Hartford will help school administrators actualize their vision for the year and continue propelling academic success across all grade levels.
For the first time in over a decade, we said we cannot cut any more of our budget. Even though we were under-resourced, we still overperformed. We have the highest graduation rate in the history. Please make some noise.
Now, not the only district in the state to be heading back today. We also have Waterbury, Danbury, and Stamford on tap. And of course, we're going to be checking in throughout the morning as the excitement grows and those kids head back to the classroom. But for now, I will send things back over to the desk.
All right, Erin, thanks so much. And as you head back to school, we want to see your first day photos. Snap those pictures and then email one to us. You can send it to send it to share61@fox61.com. And we're going to show them here on the news throughout the week.
And happening today, school leaders in Vernon will show us new technology to help keep students safe on school buses. The town says it worked with the company Bus Patrol that installed cameras on the buses. The cameras will record drivers who illegally pass a stopped bus when its red lights are flashing and stop arm is extended. The program will start with a 30-day warning period before $250 civil fines are issued. Town and school leaders are expected to talk more about the program at 10:30 this morning.
As teachers and students head back to class, a third case of measles has now been confirmed here in Connecticut, and that's the most we've seen in a single year since 2019. Now, in this case, the state says it was an adult in Hartford County who just returned home from a trip abroad. Now, it's not clear right now if that person was vaccinated or not. The Department of Public Health encourages everyone to get the measles, mumps, and rubella or the MMR vaccine. The man accused of killing a woman yesterday in Hartford is heading to court. Police arrested Victor Rivera, and they charged him with murder. Fox 61's Joe Monty is in Hartford with the very latest. Joe, good morning.
Good morning. Look, yeah, as you mentioned, we brought this to you guys yesterday morning as a breaking situation. 47-year-old Victor Rivera has been arrested for the murder of Nicole Tolato. We're told that at 4 o'clock yesterday morning on Bond Street, a verbal argument turned physical, and then it just moved all around the street. It turned into a real mess, and police had that street blocked off for a number of hours yesterday. We can tell you a little bit more about that. When they got to the scene yesterday morning, they found Tolato unconscious. She was quickly taken to a nearby hospital where she died. Yesterday, Lieutenant Aaron Boisfort with the Hartford Police told us that this wasn't a random attack.
Seen altercation in the street, a female victim and two other individuals, a male and a female. As a result of that altercation, a fight took place. It became very physical, at which time the female was stabbed.
And just taking a look at that video from the scene yesterday, police were able to secure a lot of evidence. There were evidence markers all over the street, up and down, and Bond Street was closed for several hours yesterday morning. Now, police have also said the additional woman that was mentioned did not have anything to do with the stabbing. This was between the suspect, who has now since been arrested, and the victim. Also, we were told by neighbors that they were shocked that this happened, that Nicole was a nice woman, and they just can't believe that something like this happened in their neighborhood. Rivera is being held on a $2.5 million bond, and he's expected in court later today. We'll bring you updates as we get them. For now in Hartford, Joe Monty, Fox 61.
All right, Joe, thank you for the update. We'll check back through the morning. Hartford police say one man was hurt in a shooting. This happened yesterday. Officers responded to a shot spotter notification at Brook and Mather Streets at about 12:15 in the afternoon. They say they found a man in his 20s who was shot. He was taken to the hospital to be treated. Now, at this time, we don't know the full extent of his injuries.
And happening today, a former Litchfield attorney whose manslaughter conviction was overturned is expected to walk out of court this morning. The state appellate court unanimously tossed out Robert Fisher Jr.'s guilty verdict last Friday. The court ruled that he was denied a fair trial. And back in 2021, police say Fisher shot and killed Matthew Bromley in the parking lot of his law office. Fisher claims he acted in self-defense, saying he was physically attacked and feared for his life. We're told the state's attorney allowed Fisher to be released while the appellate court decides whether to move ahead with the case. And happening today, a former Bridgeport City employee, Wanda Geter-Pataki, is expected back in court. She faces dozens of charges in connection to allegations of absentee ballot fraud in the 2023 Democratic mayoral election. She is one of 5 people charged in connection to misusing absentee ballots in that election.
Meantime, the U.S. Supreme Court sided with President Trump to restrict mail-in voting. Justices say the Trump administration can move ahead with parts of an executive order. The proposal expands the role of the Department of Homeland Security and the U.S. Postal Service in elections. It involves DHS to compile lists of eligible voters. The order will also instruct the Postal Service to impose new mandates on states that want to send ballots through the mail, while it has allowed the order to move forward. Justices did not say if the executive order was in fact legal.
And a healthcare worker and 2 correctional officers were hospitalized at New Haven Correctional Center. Police say they were assaulted by an inmate. The Department of Corrections says after the inmate was medically evaluated, he ran toward and hit a healthcare employee in the back of the head. 2 correctional officers were hurt while removing him from the area. We don't know how serious any of the injuries are, and state police are investigating this incident.
Firefighters in Marlboro say a house caught fire after it was hit by lightning. Well, this was the scene on Lewis Road. The fire chief said that a firefighter had some trouble breathing fighting the fire, and they were checked out. They're expected to be okay. We are working to find out how bad the damage is and if the family that lives there will be allowed back inside.
And right now, police say that they're searching for a man that they say stole $8,000 worth of goods from a Lowe's in Lisbon. This is who they're looking for. State police say it happened on August 15th at around 3 p.m. They say he took the items and drove away in a white Kia SUV with a stolen license plate. Anyone with information about the potential identity of this man is asked to call the police.
Coming up next here on Fox 61 this morning, as tariff refunds come into some businesses, we're going to tell you how one wants to help your bottom line when you shop. We'll explain.
Plus, ChatGPT is getting more access on Mac computers, including the ability to read text and send text. What users need to know about this technology coming up on Fox 61.